I grew up surrounded by tobacco fields on the Lake Erie shoreline in southwestern Ontario. It's where 98% of Canada's tobacco is grown, and it made the region rich for decades. Today, many outsiders would like to see the tobacco disappear from these fields, but the farmers here are still determined to grow it. I never thought much about that until now. I'm Mark Johnston, and I'm going back to Simcoe, my hometown. I haven't been there much since I left 20 years ago, but I'm coming back to my brother's wedding, and I'm also bringing a film crew to find out how the people I care about down here are coping with an increasingly non-smoking world around them. I never imagined how much my own thinking would change because of the events that were about to unfold. Tobacco's always been a part of my life. In every memory of my mother, I see her with a cigarette in her hand. And despite decades of pressure from me and my siblings for her to quit, my mom, the kindergarten teacher, continues to smoke. Do you remember about my reaction to smoke when I was a kid?
Mainly in the car or in the van that we had, that really bothered.
In what way? Why? What would I do?
I think it was because it was a small enclosed space in a vehicle, and everybody would say, we feel sick. Put the cigarette out or roll the window down.
Well, that's better than asking for one, I suppose.
Much. And maybe because I smoked, none of my 5 children smoke today. Like sometimes I feel like I'm a hypocrite, teaching the children at school about not smoking and it's bad for you, but I'm doing it.
She seemed to feel guilty, but I had long given up on her actually quitting. I used to work on the farms during the summer, and I have strong memories of the good times. I remember seeing farmers drive luxury cars from the dealership across from my home. There were more than 4,000 family farms when I left. Now, with the costs of fuel, electricity, and machinery soaring, and tobacco prices staying flat, there are less than 1,200. But does anyone care? It's a different world now than when I worked on the farms. I went to see a family friend, one of the farmers struggling to survive. Bob Copperidge's family has been here farming tobacco since the Great Depression.
Like, I'm not out to make a fortune, but I want to be rewarded for my work too. And it's getting to the point now where, especially I've had a couple of bad weather years, so the profit margin hasn't been there at all.
And as if things weren't tough enough for Bob, an unexpected cost has arisen this year. The cigarette manufacturers have recently found that one of the dozens of carcinogens in tobacco can be removed by changing the curing process. Farmers like Bob are being told they have to refit the burners in their kilns this year, or the cigarette manufacturers won't buy this year's harvest.
These furnaces here are going on 30 years old. For me to spend another $8,000 per kiln to retrofit them, I don't think it's worth it. How much future is there in tobacco have a capital investment like that is going to do nothing to pay me back. Like I said, I'm 47 now. I'm going to be 80 years old before I get this paid for. I can't understand this. The companies just to come up and say, okay, change them or we're not buying your tobacco from you. I don't know whether the companies want us or not. I think they're looking for a way of getting rid of us and replacing us with third-world tobacco that's a lot cheaper. It's lonely out here on my own. My wife left about 5 years ago, and it's hard to do all the chores by myself.
The area needs some cheering up. I was happy to see that they still held a parade the first weekend of every August, marking the start of the tobacco harvest. As a child, I used to love watching it go by. Everyone in town showed up. I shouldn't be surprised that there's still a harvest queen in the parade. Farming communities everywhere have one. Melissa Van Houten symbolizes my neighbor's hope for the future and another successful crop. Local girls dream of wearing her crown one day. Melissa is the 31st annual Ontario Tobacco Queen.
You keeping busy?
With Tobacco Queen?
Yeah.
Definitely. Last couple weeks I've had quite a few things going on.
Have you had any run-ins yet? I always wonder about that, like people coming in, oh, Tobacco Queen, you know.
Not really, actually.
No?
The response I get is usually really, really positive.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
You gonna
I would imagine that people wouldn't maybe bring their negative comments to me.
To make ends meet, Bob works as a commercial photographer, but I also think this allows him to escape the loneliness of the farm.
Relax. Big S curve in the spine, everything your mother told you not to do. Wait a minute.
That was great.
Good, right? Are you going to Tomato Fest and all that?
Actually, I don't know if that's me or the next. When is Tomato Fest?
Well, Pumpkin Fest, I know you're probably going into.
Well, that happens after the next crowning. I went to Pumpkin Fest this
Oh,
past
you've already
year.
been?
Yeah, I was in the parade there.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Hey, Bob. I had one simple question for the Tobacco Queen.
I wanted to ask you if you smoke.
No, I
You
do
don't
not smoke.
You were telling me that one of the events you recently you visited, you were invited to a barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me about that? What was that?
That was a lot of fun. I went to a local nursing home. Usually, most of the residents are familiar with the Tobacco Queen, and they've known past ones, or a lot of them have been involved in the tobacco industry for most of their lives. So I just was kind of there as a refresher, just to say a few words on behalf of the industry.
She didn't smoke? What kind of a representative could she be for tobacco? I mean, my mom was a tomato queen once, and she'd eaten them all her life.
When I was recently out west, visiting my grandchildren, Christopher and Michael, and they said to me, "Grandma, you're really old, aren't you?" And I asked, "Why did you say that?" And they said, "You must be old because you have all those wrinkles all over your face." And that's got me to thinking about how much smoking really is aging me.
I know.
What cute stories do you have of them this time? Michael or Christopher?
Oh, they're just trying to get Grandma to stop smoking.
Why, what did they say?
Michael said some really good friend of theirs died of cancer, who was my age. And he said, "Grandma smokes. Is Grandma going to die too?"
So they're making you think about it, because we were after you for years.
Plus, I'd like to stop too. And I would like to be around to see my grandchildren grow up.
My mom saying that about her grandchildren came completely out of the blue. After 40 years of smoking, could I hope she was thinking seriously about quitting? When I was 14 years old, I would get up at 4:30 every morning so I could be in the fields before sunup. It was brutal, but it was still the best paying summer job around.
Coke first thing in the morning.
It's the first morning of Bob's harvest, and he's trying to motivate his gang of student pickers, known as primers.
So you two, you're gonna be spare man, just in case this one dies, you know?
Which is about
so
95.
You didn't prime before?
Chance.
No? Brand new one.
My rose
You'll
one,
survive. We haven't lost one yet.
Oh.
By the way, this isn't planting either. If I catch you with booze out there, I will kill you first and then fire you and then kill you again. Shall we?
When I came out my first morning, I was scared, a greenhorn, a rookie. Kyle reminded me of the way I was that morning 24 years ago.
That's Kyle here. Important year this year, guys, for me. After last year, that was rough. That was a bad one. Only had barely a third of what I was supposed to get because of all that rain, and this crop is looking really good, but it can be spoiled if you prime too high. So if everybody does their job, we can still get done. If we're not getting done by noon, I'll be out here talking to somebody.
Yeah.
And don't you worry, you'll catch on. I will show you. Smudge will help you. Bottom 3-4 leaves.
Yeah.
Okay, just reach right up there and grab 3 leaves.
It's tough work, and I remember choking on the tar and nicotine that came off the surface of the leaves, making me unable to eat my lunches. Sometimes I'd vomit from the tobacco poisoning, and although I've never smoked, I absorbed enough tar and nicotine those 5 summers to last a lifetime. I felt for young Kyle. I knew it would be hell for him, but if he made it through the first few days, he'd be okay.
Oh, you're doing good. Never even missed a plant. First, when I was that age, we were walking and we had horses in front of us.
Bob's memories of working in the fields are preserved in the film Backbreaking Leaf, shot on his family farm in 1959.
They say the trick is, once you bend over and get going, stay that way. Don't keep straightening up, because that's what gets you in the back. The leaves choke off any sign of a breeze there might be, and it gets stifling. 100, 110, 120 degrees even down there in the sun, but they've got to keep going. The primers work 6 to a gang and move abreast down the rows to keep up with the boat.
It was at the breaks that the stress of the work would cause tempers to flare. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, well, you gotta
He's
give learners experience. You can't be fucking calling them names.
Be patient, guys. I think we got a good gang here. If we can work together, we'll have a nice, pleasant harvest.
When you go home tonight, take an Advil before you go to bed, because even experienced primers, their wrists start swelling up and stuff.
My hands used to hurt so much, they were contorted into claws when I woke up every morning. And the tar stains got so bad, I had to wash my hands in bleach to clean them after 45 consecutive days of harvest. Most of the kids growing up on these farms have left for the city. It's just not appealing to try and take over failing farms. But one of the few that stayed behind is Bob's daughter, Vanessa.
He has a temper, and he's just getting on it. I can see he's just grinding his teeth.
Sorry.
It's where I have every great memory, my childhood and adulthood mixed. It's what I'll always think of as home. It's my heart and soul. Tobacco is a plant that we grow and it thrives. It's a plant like a tree. It's a plant like grass. We nurture it to life, and people choose to do with it what they want. If you don't want to smoke it, don't smoke it. You know? I don't like seafood. I don't eat it. I just really think it's the same thing. It's a choice. People don't smoke because they have to smoke. I mean, they smoke because they enjoy it. Why else? Why would they bother? It's a pleasurable thing, a relaxing thing, social thing. Should everyone choose to quit smoking? Maybe I'll grow pot.
Why were my friends dismissing the effects of their product on people? I thought that Vanessa might be in denial about how addictive tobacco is. Is it my mom's choice that she smokes? When does addiction take over from free will?
I'm related to this guy. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
My family's all together for the rehearsal of my twin brother Michael's wedding.
Remember, like when you were at the beach?
As always, my mom and her grandchildren are immediately drawn to each other. My brother and his wife-to-be will have more grandchildren for my mom to see grow up. More motivation for my mom to quit smoking, I hope.
We made it that far.
This being a small town, my dad is Bob's doctor, and even delivered his daughter Vanessa. Like I had asked my mom, I asked my dad what I was like around tobacco as a kid.
You know how much I hated the smoke? We're driving out of our driveway in the motorhome to go to Washington. And you may not recall this. Your mother lit up a cigarette, and you and your brother said, if you don't put that cigarette out, we're leaping out of the mobile home. You actually said that. I can remember that.
Dad, I wanted to ask you what it's like being a doctor in a tobacco community.
Initially, I felt it was a little awkward, but it is different being a physician in a community that is heavily reliant upon the economic impact of the tobacco industry. And I can recall when there was a push in a campaign to eliminate smoking in our local hospital, that there were letters to the editors, there were some threats by some of the tobacco farmers, I can recall this, to perhaps withhold funding to the hospital. And I want to say that, on the other hand, the tobacco farmers that I've dealt with, that I know as patients and otherwise in the community, have always been very generous in supporting hospital projects.
My parents haven't been together for over 20 years, but I still wanted to ask my dad what the chances were of my mom quitting smoking.
It's unlikely that someone with that track record is going to make it without some sort of smoking cessation assistance. Motivation's a big factor, and I think that may be part of Barb's, where Barb's coming from, because I know the grandchildren are putting pressure on her, just as I said. But she'll need something to get her through withdrawal. I've seen withdrawal and the physical dependency. So she'll have to use one of those products to get through.
I think that seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
Anybody who's smoked that long.
Yeah. It's unlikely to do it. The only person that I ever saw do that was your grandfather. 2 packs a day for 40 years, at least, quit. Why did he quit? Because his best friend, who smoked equally as much as he did, lost his larynx, and then lost his life. My father never smoked another cigarette.
Barb, come on in. And how many cigarettes you smoke a day?
Probably about a carton a month.
Carton a month.
Yes.
Oh, maybe about 8, 9, 10 cigarettes a day, roughly.
No, some days that many,
Yeah.
other days less.
Yeah. And do you inhale when you smoke?
All the time.
Yeah. So you would consider yourself
An addicted smoker. Yeah.
to nicotine,
Yeah.
or have nicotine
I
dependence.
don't think I admitted that until a few years ago.
Yeah.
This was my mom's first chest x-ray in more than 40 years, and I was afraid of what they might find.
And put both hands on top of your head with your elbows forward.
I think the lung disease is the one that worries me the most.
Anyone in the family with lung disease, with emphysema, chronic
No,
bronchitis?
no one.
Anybody with heart disease?
Yes.
Yeah, who did? Who?
My mother,
Your
my
mother
father
and your
who's
father.
passed away.
Yeah, from heart disease?
Yeah.
I was getting nervous about my mom and needed a break. As a child, I used to come to the museum to escape into history. Curator Bill Yeager seemed to know everything, even the history of tobacco.
And the tobacco Indians, or the neutral Indians, grew tobacco here long, long before anybody else was here, maybe 1,000 years ago. How do you think they smoked their tobacco? What did they use?
It's a pipe.
Pipe! Wonderful. Now, the local Indians, the neutrals, they grew tobacco to smoke, a little bit for enjoyment. They also used it, they thought it cured some diseases, even though we, hundreds of years later, think, well, it probably causes more disease than it cures. Who's heard of, what is it, if you smoke a peace pipe with someone, what does that mean? Is that good or bad?
Bad.
Why?
Because it gives them drugs and it makes their lungs black. And it just makes them bad.
Okay, we think of that as bad today. Back then, they thought of that as maybe good because they said, instead of us going to war and fighting and killing each other, let's smoke a peace pipe and we'll have a treaty and get along well together.
I wanted to ask about the neutral Indians. I mean, they grew this tobacco, they existed here, but there's very little left of them in archaeological terms. I mean, what we have left is really a handful of archaeological pieces. So, did they smoke too much? Is that why they're not around anymore?
Unfortunately, a terrible story unfolded in the mid-1600s. War started between the Iroquois and Hurons. The Hurons were wiped out. Then the Petrons, who were also called the Tobacco Indians, were wiped out. Then it fell to the turn of the neutrals. 12,000 people, maybe 40 villages in 10 years, basically vanished.
And so those pipes that we have left, I mean, I guess if they were peace pipes, they didn't work very well for the neutrals. My school books taught me that the French explorers had traded tobacco with the neutral Indians more than 400 years ago. I used to imagine myself as a Frenchman receiving Indian visitors. My trip to the museum has got me wondering how we ended up abusing tobacco. The neutrals considered the plant sacred, and that moderated their use of it. But our Western culture doesn't know how to do anything in moderation. So we've added hundreds of chemicals and manipulated the levels of nicotine in our tobacco, and ended up creating a product that spews dozens of carcinogens and thousands of chemicals into our bodies every time we take a puff.
Hey guys, thanks. Hey. Thanks for that. Thanks, man. It was great. It was good. That was great. Thanks a lot. Good job, bro. Yeah, right on, man. Thanks. Love your wig.
Yeah, the guys look good today. Oh, gee.
Is it me? Is it me?
That's you,
it works for me? You got to smoke?
Bob found the money to retrofit half of his kilns to remove that one carcinogen the cigarette manufacturers don't like. But what difference would that make to a cigarette filled with carcinogens?
Let's go from a 38 caliber to a 22 caliber. What's the difference if you're going to smoke? You know the dangers.
The process of refitting the kilns was proving to be more complicated than Bob anticipated, and as a result, he's ruined a good portion of the first week's harvest. I watched as he reluctantly plowed it under.
It's a learning process, and it cost me probably $1,000 worth of tobacco, just because I didn't know what I was doing, and the fact that they weren't quite working properly. Well, we had to dump some, so I'm basically just recycling it, putting it back out on the hills. At least it's some good.
Well, what does it make you feel like? I mean, you've got enough challenges, and then this happens.
I feel like a gut-shot deer. At least a gut-shot deer you'll go after, and the guys will go after them and put them down. With us, they're just leaving us out here to bleed to death.
What do you feel about the future on this farm?
Well, my daughter keeps talking that she'd like to come back on the farm, and I always told her the same thing my dad said. If you come back on the farm, I'll tie a couple of cinder blocks to your ankles and take you swimming. Because it's just not worth it. I don't see any future in it, especially tobacco.
But she's determined to take a shot at it.
She'd like to, but I think she's seen what it's done to me in the last couple of years. I don't think she's going to be into it.
Some people go to church, have beliefs in church, and I'm gonna cry. This place is, what would I do without it? I don't know. The ground has a connection with me. Means everything, really. Right now, there are two things I can't see myself without, and that's Derek and this farm. And I think he would definitely be willing to help me out here. He enjoys it too. I don't think he would come out and be so willing to help us if he didn't enjoy it. Yeah, I definitely see myself here. I really see myself here and here with him.
Vanessa's passion for this place makes me feel a little nostalgic. So I'm going out into the fields to try priming again, to recapture the feelings I had for these fields when I was a kid.
I'm gonna lose you a little money here, but I'm gonna do my best.
It's just like riding a bicycle, only harder.
You think so? Only harder, only my back's gonna hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it's been 20 years. It's been 20 years since I primed.
Yeah.
And Kyle's gonna be behind me, I know, helping me out. Where do you put your feet on this one? Woo! Uh-oh.
I was remembering how we really earned our pay in the fields. I could barely keep up. Poor Kyle back there helping me out. The memories came crashing back. The smell of the fuel, the drone of the engine, the pain.
New guy.
The baggies were heavier than I remembered.
Whoa! Hey, whoa!
Very good.
Kind of not. You're being very polite, Bob.
Well, we'll be done by dark, guys. Don't worry. Well, let's see. I'd say you left about 2 cartons of cigarettes out there by now.
Is this a pretty good gang?
Yeah, they seem to be working well together. Haven't had to break up too many fistfights or anything this year.
So I push him, and he hits his head right on that motor thing. He turns around and throws a punch at me, and I dodge out of the way, and then he throws another punch. And
Talking to the primers was fun, remembering my own priming days. But I could never do this again. Not only am I too old and out of shape, but I also feel personally uncomfortable, guilty even, contributing to a tobacco harvest.
Boys, you have to stay over there, okay? You can't come here. Yes, you can't come here right now, okay? Go and stand with Dad for a minute. Okay? Christopher doesn't like to see Grandma smoking.
Occasionally, just for nerves, it's
Tense
helpful.
moments.
Yeah.
I hope
Calming.
to stop soon.
Oh yeah.
Very soon.
It's hard to do. I find that, especially when you're with a social setting, that what are you going to do
Or
with your
friends
hands?
that smoke, so you
Yeah,
just
well.
sit around and...
A friend of mine stopped by that was a bit of a chain smoker, and he came in and I said, "You got any cigarettes?" He said, "No, I quit." I said, "Do you want to drink?" "No, I quit drinking too." I said, "Well, what good are you?"
Bob and my mum. I truly hoped for Bob's success, but desperately wished my mum could escape her cigarettes. The tobacco farmer and his smoker. How could one survive without the other?
Bless, O God, the giving of these rings, that those who wear them may live in faithfulness and in love all their days. Amen.
I watched my mum enjoying more time with her grandkids. Yet while she was waiting for her test results, she was still smoking. What more did she need to make her quit?
No, I have to stop. I even promised Christopher when they left. That was the last thing he said to me. "Remember, Grandma, you're going to try to stop smoking." So I really want to try. Plus, I'd really like to dance at his wedding, too.
Yeah.
And maybe stopping now before it is too late.
Yeah, but I mean, you've been lucky. You've been healthy till now, so I guess getting checked up is a way for you to start clean, right?
Yeah.
For the next stage of your life.
And hopefully all the tests are okay. I just cross my fingers.
When was the first day you started smoking? Do you remember that? Do you remember the moment?
It was in Teachers College. My cousin and I were in our room, and she suggested I try one. She taught me how to smoke. So I tried it and inhaled and got really sick and had to go right to bed.
But you kept smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, weren't there any times in all those years of smoking that you felt like quitting?
I did stop once for about a year.
When was that? I don't remember that.
No, it was before you were born.
And what started you again?
It was a craving when I was expecting you and Mike.
For nicotine?
Yeah, and your dad and his friend were smoking, and we'd play cards at night, and the three of us sitting on the floor playing euchre, and they would always be smoking, and probably just wanted to join in.
So now that you've decided to quit, don't you think that now is as good a time as any to stop smoking? Why not right now? So
no, I won't. I can't promise.
But you can.
I'll give it the best shot I can.
But it's like anybody who tries to quit. You can only give it your best shot.
Yeah.
So you ready to give it a shot?
Yes. Right now.
Yes. Quit. I'll take that. I'll throw that out for you.
Okay.
I remember that the final day of harvest was a time for celebration. But Bob doesn't celebrate much anymore. He doesn't know if he'll make it to next year. He needs to find more money to convert the rest of his kilns. It's hard to watch Bob and Vanessa struggle so much. They're just doing all they know how to do. But I'm caught between my sympathy for them and the dread I feel thinking about my mom's addiction to their crop.
There you go. Done for me. Thanks again, boys.
Never. You got a check ready?
Yes.
All right.
Is that all you're concerned about?
Yep.
Your checks.
We've always pulled through. I have no reason to believe that we won't pull through one way or another. I don't need a lot of money to live. If I can eat and have some shelter, you know, I'm happy.
I enjoy having her here. I need the help, for one thing, and I think she enjoys it out here, too. I wish there was a future in this for her. Because there'd be nothing better than to have her take over. But I just don't see it. It's too hard. I'd really like to see her go to school and get a career. Like maybe have this as a hobby farm or something, but it's just been getting to be too much lately.
Well, my dad is my inspiration, my hero. I feel like he's I can't believe I'm crying. I feel like he's my best friend. He's taught me everything. And I don't think he really knows how much I look up to him and what he does for myself and my sister and my nephew. I know how much he sacrificed. Probably I don't know how much he sacrificed, actually. But I really appreciate it. And I hope to be able to do the same for my kids someday.
Nervous?
Yeah. I didn't think I'd be this nervous, but
Why?
I am.
Why?
I think because I've smoked for such a long time. And you never know what the results will be.
Yeah.
Even though I feel I'm fairly healthy.
To take a look is still
Scary. Maybe you postpone it and you don't really want it now.
I think you did postpone it 40 years. Well, let's take a look. You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
I hope so.
Yeah. On our way to the hospital, my mom told me she'd snuck a few cigarettes since our walk on the beach. I was disappointed.
The heart is not big, but the lung is, you can see more black color. That means and also increased AP diameter of the chest. That means they have some emphysema now of the lung, but no tumor like I can see. Emphysema, that means the lung is like the air bubble inside. They're getting bigger and bigger, and that's what the lung function is going to decrease because of the lung volume getting bigger.
But the good news is that you can't see any
tumors there or anything. That's
it.
That's the good news.
That's it. That's the good news. And this
Emphysema, it meant my mom's lungs were beginning to fail. I didn't know what to do, so I tried to be supportive.
I have some film here. You want to see the tumor.
Just show what the tumor look like. Which one is?
Okay, Mom?
Yeah.
It's good.
No, this is.
But it means you can.
This
it means we can help it by stopping.
This is not a serious. Emphysema. It's very early stage of emphysema. Plan to do now is to do a pulmonary function study.
No matter me trying to say it was okay, it wasn't. It was heartbreaking. The shock of getting her results caused my mom to quit it again on the spot. It was going to be tougher for her than she had ever imagined. If anyone could help my mom, I thought it might be the Federal Minister of Health, Alan Rock. I discovered that smoking had had an impact on his family, too.
We've all been touched by it in some way or another. My sister died of lung cancer a few months ago at the age of 56 after having been a lifelong smoker. And I watched her die. And, she leaves a family behind, and we all pay the price with her. And she paid a terrible price.
I knew the minister had started several initiatives to stamp out smoking, but I wanted to know how his ministry could help an individual like my mom. Maybe helping her finance the use of patches or gum that might help her through the process. Is government committed to helping with something like that?
Actually, if your mother looks at the new tobacco packaging that we brought in just a few months ago, she'll see not only the color pictures, which are intended to motivate her, but she'll also see on the inside flap a 1-800 number to help her with cessation strategies. And that 1-800 number puts her in touch with a whole network of support in terms of people who've been through it themselves, people who can provide reinforcement and also information about where she can go for additional help.
I'm not sure the minister answered my question. It seemed he was saying no, they wouldn't pay for gum or the patches. But at least my mom had someone to call.
Please leave a brief message at the sound of the tone, including your name, telephone number with your area code. Thanks for calling.
Yes, it's Mark Johnston, and I'm calling about your smoking cessation program.
How's it going, Mom? How's the quitting going?
Not too bad.
Tell me what's happened so far.
I haven't smoked in 4 days and 16 and a half hours.
How many seconds?
No, I haven't counted the seconds. But it's not easy. It's very difficult.
Well, what are you feeling physically as well as mentally?
Like I just want a cigarette. I can see what they mean by it's harder to stop smoking cigarettes than it is to stop heroin. It's really hard. I thought it would be easier, maybe because I'm not using anything or taking anything to help me stop, but I just wanted to try it on my own.
Harvest was finished for another year. I didn't know what the future held for my mom's health, and I didn't know what it held for Bob either. I hoped Bob could find another way to make a living on the farm because tobacco didn't seem to be doing him any good.
I'm sick of growing tobacco. I'm tired of getting up in the morning and hearing guys saying we're putting death on the table, not food.
I felt sorry for Bob, yet I needed to hear from someone on the other side of the equation. Neil Collishaw is the research director for Physicians for a Smoke-Free Canada.
Really, just look at the facts. We've got around 1,000 farm families growing tobacco in Canada. That tobacco that they grow kills 45,000 Canadians a year. Now, who am I supposed to feel sorry for? Families where 45,000 people die, or 1,000 people who might want to try some other line of work? I'm sorry, this is Physicians for a Smoke-Free Canada. Our concerns are with 45,000 people who die every year in this country from this product.
No matter how public opinion has turned against tobacco country, the locals are still defiant about how they make a living down here. Today, they're proudly electing a new tobacco queen.
We're here to deliberate the next reigning tobacco queen. And we think it's going to definitely have to be the one with the hottest body.
Absolutely.
Our next contestant is Stephanie Burkett.
I'm also very proud of the industry that I've had the privilege of representing. The tobacco industry that has done so much for me, for my family, and for our entire community. Thank you all very much.
And 2001-2002 Ontario Tobacco Queen is Carla Oliver.
Carla, on behalf of our B&H, congratulations and best of luck as the reigning queen for the next year. And I have a little gift for you here.
Jim Hogue of Rothmans, Benson & Hedges was the first tobacco executive I'd been able to get close to all year. I asked him if he could get some of my questions answered. I met your colleague Jim Hogue down at the crowning of the Tobacco Queen and had a chance to talk to him, and he said that I should come and talk to you. John McDonald is the Director of Public Affairs for Rothmans, Benson & Hedges. I asked him, with big campaigns now to stop young people smoking, what kind of future was there in tobacco? Would there be another generation of lifelong smokers like my mom?
Well, there'll always be a certain percentage of Canadians that choose to smoke. Going back to the 1960s, probably about 55% of Canadians smoked. It's down to around 27% of Canadians that choose to smoke. Whether that number 10 years from now is 15% or 10%, whatever it may be.
But if it's down to 10% smoking, that can't be very profitable for you guys if that kind of reduction in smokers happens.
It's really up to individuals as to whether we're talking about freedom of choice and responsibility. It's up to the individuals as to whether or not they're going to continue to smoke. Everybody knows that you'd have to be living on the moon not to know that there are risks associated with tobacco products. Everybody's well aware of that. Adults should be able to decide whether or not they are going to use the product and where they're going to use it within reason.
When I started this journey, I never anticipated how my feelings about tobacco would change. Now, I not only wonder about how much longer tobacco will be a viable crop, but considering what it's done to people like my mom, should it even be grown?
All those years that I smoked. Scary.
My brother Michael and I wanted to make sure that our mom kept her promises to herself and the rest of us about trying to quit. I thought showing her the journey we had made together in this film would reinforce her commitment. We wanted to know, both of us, how the quitting's going. What's it been like? How long has it been now?
Over 2 months. I think when they said you've got early emphysema, it just scared the living daylights out of me. I just thought, I don't want to walk around with an oxygen tank on my back.
Have you been able to exercise? I know exercise is good for emphysema.
Not very much, no. Because I also got some other test results back, the osteo. So I have severe osteo as well, in the spine and...
Osteoporosis.
Yes.
Right.
But that must be frustrating, yeah, because to alleviate emphysema, you need to exercise regularly.
Right.
And if you have osteoporosis, then that stops you.
Yeah.
Doesn't that frustrate you?
Of course, yeah.
Did you get any help from the 1-800 line that I know you called?
When I called, it just was a machine, but somebody did call back and leave me a message and said they had a 14-page booklet that I could send for it. After all that money that everybody who smokes, that goes into the government's coffers, when we want to stop, they should say, okay, here are the things you can use. Here's a booklet might help you. Here's the gum that might help you. Here's the patches that might help. Or any information. Just send it to you immediately when someone is inquiring.
Well, your grandchildren are pretty happy, aren't they?
Oh, Christopher and Michael, when I called them, I said, Grandma's finally stopped smoking. It's been like almost 2.5 weeks or something. They say, awesome, Grandma, we knew you could do it.
But we're glad
and I should
too.
have done it for you guys years ago.
And we're glad you did.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I should have stopped a long time ago. I know that.
But you're one of the lucky ones. You get to stop in time.
Hopefully. It's in time.